LeBron James. Bona fide quote-unquote top 10 player of all time according to his fans. He played in the Eastern Conference from 2003 up until 2018. He made 8 consecutive finals from 2011 to 2018, so he must had tough competition.
Right?
Well, let's explore the conference, known as the Eastern Conference from 2011 to 2018, starting with the 2011 Philadelphia 76ers.
Two 2011 76ers, 17th ranked offense and 7th ranked defense, led by 14.5 rebound Andre Iguodala and 15-point-old Elton Brand. Elton Brand led them in scoring in the regular season and playoffs with 15 a game, which would have been 4th best on the Heat. This team had 0 20-point-per-game scorers. The Heat had 3. LeBron, Wade, and Bosh averaged 66.2 points versus 76ers. The 76ers' entire starting 5 averaged 54.2 points. 3 guys outscored 5. Elton efficiency jumped by 3% versus Miami, while Drew dropped 3%. Iggy by -2%. Thad Young by -13%. Lou Williams by -8%. Spencer by -10%. Wouldn't have made the playoffs out west. The 18th ranked offense and 2nd ranked defense. This team of geriatrics showed the beginning signs of needing to trade the Big Three, if you would even call it that, ASAP. Led by 33-year-old Paul Pierce, 34-year-old Kevin Garnett, and 35-year-old Ray Allen. People pretended like this was a super team because they had 4 All-Stars when in reality the conference was mostly atrocious. They made the All-Star team, averaging a whopping 19, 16, and 15. Pierce was 24th in scoring. Ray was 45th. KG 63rd. Purely reputation, All-Star nods. They got absolutely torched by Dwayne Wade when he averaged a whopping 37, 5, 2, and 1 on 53% shooting versus them. The Heat Big Three averaged 71 points per game, while the Celtics Big Three averaged a whopping 50.4 points per game. The Heat Big Three outscored the Celtics starting 571-66. Would have been 4th seed out west and would have played the Thunder in the first round.
The 2011 Chicago Bulls, led by the eventual NBA MVP Derrick Rose. His help: 17 points per game Luol Deng. 17 points per game no defense Carlos Boozer, who averaged 12 points on 43% shooting. 11 points per Joakim Noah, who in the playoffs was a negative offensively, averaging a measly 8 points on 41% shooting as a 7-footer, and he missed 34 games during the 2011 season, his replacement. A 40-year-old Kurt Thomas. The Bulls shooting guards Ronnie Brewer and Keith Bogans combined to average 10.6 points per game in 39 minutes per night. For reference, D-Wade that season averaged 25 ppg as the second option on the Heat. Westbrook 22 ppg for the Thunder. Amare 24 ppg for the Knicks. This Bulls team was Derrick Rose and friends, not even close to the Miami Heat. So why do LeBron fans act like this team was so good when it clearly wasn't? The entire team production dipped in the postseason. When they played the Heat, 3 of the top 4 scorers played on the Heat. Versus Miami, Carlos Boozer efficiency dropped by -11% and -8% overall. Noah by -20% and -11% overall. Luol Deng by -4% overall. The 2012 Mid-York Knicks, aka Carmelo Anthony J.R. Smith injured Amare and friends. The 17th ranked offense and 5th ranked defense. It doesn't get any more mid than this team.
Mid!
Regular season: Carmelo Anthony 22 ppg, Amare 17 ppg, J.R. Smith 12 ppg, Tyson Chandler second team, all defense and DPOY. In the playoffs they crumbled. Melo 27 ppg on 42% shooting versus Miami, -1%. JR 12 ppg on 31% shooting, minus 9%. Injured Amare 15 ppg on 55% shooting, plus 7%. Second to last playoff ppg with 82. Second to last playoff 3-point shooting. Heat Big 3 averaged 63.8 ppg. If you add Chalmers, it jumps to 75.6. Knicks starting 5 averaged 64.3. Pure. The 2012 Indiana Pacers. The 7th-ranked offense. And 9th-ranked defense. Best player. Danny Granger. This team had 0-20 ppg scorers. Lacking the firepower offensively to match up with Wade and Nem. Bosh was hurt, and the Pacers still lost 4-2. Wade and Braun averaged 56.2 points combined, while the Pacers' entire starting 5 averaged 63.2 points. Granger and West combined to average 28.1 points per game. David West number 2 option versus Miami, 14 ppg 45%, minus 3%. Danny Granger number 1 option 13p on 37-36 83 splits, minus 4%. Roy Hibbert 12 and 11, minus 3%. Paul George 10p on 36% FG, minus 8%. Very defensive series, but at the end of the day you gotta be able to score. The 2012 even more geriatric Celtics. The number 1 defense, yet they were the 27th nearly last-ranked offense. Led by 3 old men and a non-floor spacing point guard, which led to them being the 25th, that's 5th from last place scoring team and 21st in pace. In the playoffs, they were the 10th in scoring. They were 13th in three-point percent, dropping almost 10% from the regular season to the playoffs, shooting 29% from 3 versus Miami. And they were 13th in pace as well. The Celtics' Big 4 versus Miami versus regular season. Paul Pierce 18 on 34% shooting, minus 10%. Kevin Garnett 19 on 48% shooting, minus 2%. Ray Allen 11 on 52% true shooting, minus 8% true shooting. Rajon Rondo 20 on 48% shooting, plus 4%. Wade and Braun averaged 55 combined. Pierce, Allen, and KG averaged 49 combined. They struggled to get past 2 lackluster teams before losing to the Heat. Truly the end of the geriatrics. The 38-44 2013 Milwaukee Bucks. There's barely anything to say about this team at all besides half the roster worked at Kroger and Walmart part-time, and some of them looked like high school principals. They were the number 22 offense and number 12 defense. Best player, Monte Ellis. Versus Miami. Monte Ellis 14 points on 43-15-37 splits, 45.9% true shooting, plus 2% field goal. Brandon Jennings 13 points on 29-21-72 splits, 40% true shooting, 35% effective field goal, and a minus 10% drop in efficiency overall. And he took 14.25 shots per game. Mike Dunleavy 12 points on 56-43 splits, 72% true shooting, and plus 12% jump. Terrible. Gone in 4. Goodbye.
The 45-37 2013 Chicago Bulls. They were ranked 23rd offensively, 6th defensively, and were 27th in pace. They were 29th in points, 29th in three-pointers made, 29th in three-pointers attempted, 21st in three-point percent. This team was made up of outside of Luol Deng, bench guys and role players, not one real superstar or real all-star in sight. The fact that Joakim made the all-star team tells you all you need to know. Luol was playing hurt all season, then missed the playoffs following round 2 with being suspected of having viral meningitis and underwent a spinal tap. The Bulls' only 2 scoring options in the playoffs were basically Nate Robinson and Carlos Boozer. LeBron, Wade, Bosh, and Norris Cole combined to average 60.8 points per game. Cole was a bench player, by the way. Bosh, Wade, and Cole all shot over 50%. The Bulls' entire starting 5 averaged 65.8. Joakim Noah 9 points, 9 rebounds, 41% shooting, down 2% as a 7-footer. Nate Robinson 15 points per game on 33% shooting, down 10%. Carlos Boozer 15 points per game on 42% shooting, down 7%. Jimmy Butler 15 points per game on 43% shooting. This team was not good. At best, just painfully average.
The best team Bron faced in the 2010s East? The 2013 49 and 32 Pacers were the 20th-ranked offense and 1st-ranked defense. Hibbert, 22 and 10 on 55% shooting number 1 option. 25% usage rate, plus 11% increase, most field goals attempted. George, 19 on 47%, 25% usage rate, plus 5% increase. West, 16 on 45%, minus 5%. Hill, 13 on 38 44%, minus 6% and plus 7%. Lance, 8 on 36 34-70 splits, 44% true shooting, minus 10%. In the fourth of the series, PG 5.4 points on 44%. David West 4.7 on 76%. RH 4.4 on 46%. LBJ 7 on 48%. Wade 3.2 on 53%. Bosch 2 on 33%. Best team LeBron ever faced in the East? I hope not, or there needs to be a discussion. The 2014 Bobcats. They were 43 and 39. The 24th-ranked offense and 5th-ranked defense. Gary Neal, 11 points on 35-22-71 splits number 1 option. Highest usage rate 29%. Third most FGA, minus 8%, minus 18%, minus 25%. Kemba Walker, 19 points on 47-50-77 splits third option. Third highest usage rate 24%. Most FGA, plus 8%, plus 17%, minus 6%. Big AL asterisk, 18 points on 49%. Number 2 option. Second highest usage rate 25%, second most FGA, minus 1%. 23rd in PPG. Third to last in efficiency from 16 feet to the 3. Heat very easily swept them. Out of here, goodbye. The 2014 44 and 38 geriatric Brooklyn Celtics. They were the 14th-ranked offense and 20th-ranked defense. 21st in PPG. 25th in pace. The average age of their starting 5 was 32.5, and keep in mind 3 of their starters already had major injuries. Kevin Garnett averaged a measly 4 points per game, led by 32-year-old first-option Joe Johnson, who averaged 20 points. Their second-option 36-year-old Paul Pierce only averaged 14 points. Their third-option Darren Williams averaged 11 points on 36% from the field and had a 9% drop in efficiency. Keep in mind, LeBron shot 50%. Wade shot 50%. Bosch shot 50%. Allen shot 48% and averaged 13 points. The Heat had 7 players shooting above 50% and 10 players shooting above 42%. The 2014 Pacers, 56-26. Number 23 ranked offense, 24th in points per game. And number 1 ranked defense, but that don't mean shit when you can't score at all. Official death of Roy Hibbert happened this series. Paul George, 24 points on 45%, plus 3% increase. 33 years old David West, 16 on 56%, plus 8% increase. Lance Stevenson, 14.55 on 49-31-73, lateral player. Roy Hibbert, 10.7 and 0.8 on 41%, minus 3%. Never played a single playoff game after this. Minus 8 points, minus 4 rebounds, minus 6% versus 2013 playoffs. LeBron, 22 points on 56%. Dwade, 20 points on 54-46-85 splits. Bosch, 16 points on 47%. Ray Allen, 9 points on 40/44/92. (2015) LeBron returns to Cleveland with yet another super team. With Kyrie, one of the most skilled players in not only NBA but basketball history, who won Rookie of the Year and was already a 2-time All-Star. And Kevin Love, a guy who was just 6th in MVP voting and who averaged over a 4-year span 23 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. With 2 All-NBA nods, 3 All-Star nods, a Most Improved Player award, and a rebounding title under his belt.
already off to a bad start with the 2015-40 and 42 Celtics, the number 18 ranked offense, and number 12 ranked defense. They allowed the 9th most points per game. First option was a midget in Isaiah Thomas, who averaged 17 points on 33 16-97 splits with an effective field goal percent of 36%, -8% and -18% drops in efficiency. Second option, Jared Sullinger, 12 points on 55 33 57 splits, second highest usage rate at 25.1%, best Celtics player, higher field goal percent than every starter. Avery Bradley, 12 points on 38 26 85 splits, -5% and -9% drops. Evan Turner, 10 points on 36%, -7% drop. LeBron, 27 on 46%, -2%. Kyrie, 23 on 44 48 80 splits, -2%, +7% rise. Kevin Love, 14 on 41 43 73 splits, -2%, +7% rise. Mozgov, 10 and 8 on 53%. The Celtics were dog shit.
The 2015 Chicago Bulls. 50 wins, 32 losses. The number 11 offense. The number 11 defense. 15th in points per game. 9th in opponents' points per game. They were up 2-1 on the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference semifinals. But Pau Gasol went down with injury in Game 3. After that, they proceeded to lose 3 of the next 3 games, losing 4-2. Multiple things happened in this series. For one, David Blatt calling timeout, but the referees pretending they did not see it, leading to a LeBron James game winner over Jimmy Butler in the corner. Had they called that timeout, the Bulls would have been up 3-1. Post-injury D Rose, 22 points on 39% shooting, a 1% drop in efficiency. Jimmy Butler, 21 points on 40% shooting, a 6% drop in efficiency. Mike Dunleavy, 48, 40, 92 splits, just like that 2013 Bucks series against the Miami Heat. He played better. A 5% jump in field goal percentage, a lateral move in three-point percentage, and a 12% jump in free throw percentage. One thing I can say, he loved playing against LeBron. And the guy who I think was the X factor, Pau Gasol, 11 points on 48% shooting. A far cry from his regular season pre-injury, where he averaged 18 points, 12 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 2 blocks per game. And Joakim Noah, yet again, came up short as a 6'11" man, averaging 5 points on 33% shooting, a 11% drop as a center, which makes it officially 3 straight series where Noah's field goal percentage dropped 7 or more percentage points. The Cavaliers. LeBron, 26 points per game on 39% shooting, a 10% efficiency drop. Kyrie, 17 points per game on 42, 43, 89 splits, a 4% drop and a 2% increase in three-point percentage. J.R. Smith, 13 points per game on 50, 44, 100 splits. Tristan Thompson, almost a double-double at 9 points, 11 rebounds per game. Iman Shumpert, 12 points per game on 40, 36, 75 splits. Matthew Dellavedova, 8 points per game on 53, 43, 87 splits. Looking like a guy that he would face off against in the finals. James Jones, 6 points per game on 44, 41, 100 splits. One thing about a LeBron team, it always has a plethora of shooters. And sadly, this team did not deserve to advance past the Bulls, but it happened. The 2015 Atlanta Hawks, one of the worst playoff built teams I've ever seen. This team is as regular season as it gets. They won 60 games somehow. They lost 22. They were the number 6 offense and the number 6 defense. This is one of the most fraudulent teams in NBA history. It took them 6 games to beat Joe Johnson and whoever the fuck, I think Brook Lopez. I don't even remember who was on the roster. That's how ass the Nets was by this time. It took them 6 games to beat an injured John Wall and a number 1 option, Bradley Beal. Their first option was Jeff Teague, averaging 21 points on 43% from the field and 28% from 3. He had a 30.9% usage rate, the highest on the team, the most field goals attempted on the team, and 33 more shots attempted than Paul Millsap. He had a -3 and a -6% drops in efficiency. Their second option was Paul Millsap, who averaged 13 points on 35% from the field and 11% from 3. He had a 21% usage rate. He had the second most shots attempted, and he had a -12 and a -24% drop in efficiency. And their third fucking option was Kent Bazemore, averaging 10 points on 48% from the field and 22% from 3. And what's crazy is he had a 19% usage rate. He had a +5 points jump per game, +6% percentage jump in field goal percent per game, and a -14% drop in 3-point shooting per game. LeBron averaged 30 points on 43% shooting, and he had a -6% drop in efficiency. He really was not that good. It was everybody else who was great. J.R. Smith averaged 18 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, and 2 assists per game on 50, 47, 80 splits. Kyrie, he only played 2 games. He averaged 13 points on 47% from the field and 66% from 3. Tristan Thompson averaged a double-double at 12 points, 11 boards on 64% shooting. And Timofey Mozgov averaged 10 points, 7 rebounds on 56% shooting. The Atlanta Hawks in 2015 were absolute dog shit. Absolute dog shit. If that team was in the West and won those same 60 games, they would have lost in the first round. Easy. The 2016 Reggie Jackson Pistons. They won 44 games. They lost 38. They were the 13th ranked offense and the 12th ranked defense. Their first option was Reggie Jackson, who averaged 14 points per game on 45% from the field and 16% from 3. He had a 23% usage rate, second behind Andre Drummond. He was number 1 for usage rate in the regular season with 29%. He averaged the most field goals attempted on the Pistons in the regular season and playoffs. He had a 2% drop in field goal percentage playoffs, and he had a 19% jump. Oh, hell no. A 19% drop in 3-point shooting percentage in the playoffs. Their second option was Andre Drummond, who averaged 16 points on 52% shooting. He had a 28% usage rate. He had the second most field goals attempted and the second highest usage rate in the regular season with 24%. Their third option was Marcus Morris with 17 points per game on 46% from the field and 39% from three. He had a 22% usage rate and a +3 jumps in field goal percentage and 3-point shooting. LeBron averaged 22 points a game. He had a -4% drop and a -10% drop in field goal percentage and 3-point shooting versus the Pistons. Kyrie Irving averaged 27 points per game on 47, 47, 75 splits. A 2% jump in field goal percent and a 15% jump in 3-point shooting or 3-point percentage. Kevin Love averaged 18 points, 12 rebounds. J.R. Smith averaged 13 points per game on 46% from the field and 51% from three. Matthew Dellavedova averaged 9 points a game on 56% from the field, 40% from three, and 80% from the free throw line. Absolute garbage. Man, the 2016 Hawks, 48 wins, 34 losses. The number 22 offense and number 2 defense. Somehow worse than the 2015 Hawks, but I guess really just about the same. Paul Millsap, once again, shit on himself. 17 points a game on 39% from the field and 23% from three. A -8 percentage and a -9 percentage drop from the field and from three. Dennis Schroeder, the number one option, the best player on the team. 15 points a game on 50, 47, 100 splits. A 35% usage rate. 8% jump from the field and 15% jump from three. And Jeff Teague, the third option on the team. 11 points a game on 34% from the field and 26% from three. A -10% drop from the field and -14% drop from three. The Cavs. LeBron, 24 points a game on 50, 42, 59 splits. Kyrie, 21 points a game on 48, 66, 86 splits. Kevin Love, 19 points a game, 47% from three. Channing Frye, 13 points a game, 65% from the field, 58% from three, and 80% from the free throw line. J.R. Smith, 11 points a game on 50% from the field and three. The Cavs absolutely blasted the Hawks. 8 out of 11 Cavs players shot 42% or better from three. 6 players shot 50% or higher from three. 4 Cavs players shot 57% or higher from three. And 3 players shot 66% or higher from three. Out of everybody who attempted at least 6 total threes on the Cavs, 7 of them shot higher than 42%. Out of everybody, 9 players who attempted 6 total threes on the Hawks, only 3 of them shot above 40% and only 1 of them shot above 50%. They were absolutely dog fucking walked. The 2016 Kyle Lowry led Toronto Craptors, 56 wins and 26 losses. The number 5 offense and number 11 defense. They were 13th in points per game. They were 3rd in opponents' points per game in the regular season. In the playoffs, they were 13 out of 16 in scoring. They went from top, what were they? I think they were the number 1 seed. Were they number 1? Number 1 or 2. So they went from a top team to a bottom of the barrel. Everybody knew they were frauds. And you should have known they were frauds because they got took to a game 7 versus George Hill. And then got took to 7 again versus old-ass D-Wade, Luol Deng with no feet, and Justice Winslow. If you bet even $1 on this team, I hope you're bankrupt now. Versus the Cavaliers, DeMar DeRozan, 23 points on 50, 0, 90 splits. He had an effective field goal percent of 50%. Kyle Lowry, who I say was the best player on his team, 20 points on 47% from the field, 34% from three, and 71% from the free throw line. A 58% effective field goal percent. And not one player on that team outside of them two players averaged more than a whopping 7 points a game. LeBron averaged 26 points on 62% from the field. Kyrie averaged 24 points on 48% from the field. Kevin Love averaged 15 points on 45% from the field, 44% from three, and 96% from the free throw line. J.R. Smith averaged 11 points on 42% from the field and 40% from three. And Shannon Fry averaged almost 10 points on 62% from the field and 58% from three. The Raptors were dog shit. Absolute frauds. And everybody knew it as soon as Series 1 started. The 2017 Pacers, 42-40, 15th ranked offense, 16th ranked defense. Perfectly average. Third in playoff scoring. Last in playoff defense. Highest allowed field goal percentage in the playoffs. Perfectly middle of the road. Good at one thing, awful at the next. Paul George, 28 points per game on 38, 34, 86 splits. This man was terrible. 8% field goal percentage drop and a 5% three-point shooting drop. Terrible. That's the first option on your team. Shooting numbers so poor, you'd have thought they got swept. And they did. They got swept. Jeff Teague, who was the best player on his Pacers team, 17 points a game on 49, 53, 83 splits. If he was ever going to beat LeBron, it was this series. But yet, the number one option on the team forgot to put his big boy britches on. Jeff Teague had a 5% increase in efficiency. He had an 18% increase in three-point efficiency. He did what he was supposed to do. Miles Turner, 10 points a game on 43% shooting. A minus 8% drop in efficiency. Lance Stevenson, 16 points a game on 51% shooting. I don't give a fuck. Lance Stevenson is somehow overrated for a fucking role player. LeBron and Kyrie combined to average 57 points a game. LeBron shot 54%, 32% usage rate. Kyrie shot 42%. He's a small guard. 36% usage rate, which is pretty funny because that technically means that Kyrie was the first option. Kevin Love averaged 15 points, 9 rebounds on 41% from the field, 41% from three, and 86% from the free throw line. Now, the others on the Cavs, they went crazy. They went off. Shannon Fry, 8 points a game on 55, 46, 100 splits. Darren Williams, 8 points a game on 77, 77, 85 splits. Crazy. J.R. Smith, he only averaged 7 points a game, but that's because he didn't get that many shots, right? 45% from the field, 43% from three. Did what he was supposed to do. Kyle Korver, 5 points a game, 38% from three. Did what he was supposed to do. Tristan Thompson, 6 points, 11 boards per game, did what he was supposed to do. Minus LeBron, the other the other notable Cavs players shot 46% from the field, 39% from three, and 81% from the line. If LeBron did not play in this series, the Cavs still could have won. Probably would have won. I would have bet money they would have won. The Pacers overall, they shot 46, 39, 76. So they were overall, including Paul George, less efficient than minus LeBron Cavaliers. The Pacers lost this series on an average of 4 points per game. They had a very real chance to win this series, but Paul George just doing Paul George things, man. Just not showing up when you need him to. Game 1, fourth quarter, Paul George, 4 points on 1 of 4 shooting, 25%, and 1 or 2 from the line. LeBron only had 6 points, and he shot 28% from the field. Pacers took the lead, 105 to 103, and then proceeded to not score for 3 minutes straight. And these guys they weren't getting clumped up by LeBron. They were getting clumped up by like Kyrie and Shannon Fryer. Like, dude, what? Tristan Thompson. I'm pretty sure Tristan Thompson hit a pull-up jump shot. Game 2. Fourth quarter, Paul George was a little bit better. 10 points on 3 of 7 shooting, 42% from the field. Still lost. LeBron only had 4 points on 2 of 6 shooting, 33% from the field. Another bad fourth quarter from LeBron. Game 3, fourth quarter, Paul George, 13 points, 4 of 10 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 3 of 3 from the line. But LeBron went crazy this game. He went crazy with the dunks. He really wasn't doing nothing too special. LeBron had 15 points, 5 of 9 shooting, and 4 of 8 from the line in the fourth quarter. The Pacers had a 25-point lead at halftime and then got outscored 11-7 in the final 3 minutes of the game to lose 119-114. Paul George went 0-5 in the third quarter. The Pacers shot 19% as a team in the third quarter. Fucking awful. Game 4, season on the line. All the marbles. Need this win now. Paul George, fourth quarter, 3 points on 1 of 6 shooting. LeBron, 7 points on 2 of 6 shooting. The Pacers did not score a single point after being up 102-100 with a minute and a half left. The Pacers effectively blew 3 games. 3 games. And it's Paul George's fault because he choked. If they had a Kevin Durant, they would have easily won this series. The Cavs literally tried to let them boys win games 1, 2, and 4. But they was just too boo-boo. Too bad the Pacers didn't have a real superstar like KD. They would have stomped on the Cavs. The 2017 Craptors, 51-31, 6th ranked offense, 11th ranked defense. And literally almost identical to the last season. 13th in playoff points per game again. 11th ranked defense again. But this time, Kyle Lowry only played 2 games where he averaged 20 points a game. And you know what? Kyle Lowry was playing some pretty good basketball here. Yeah. And that was about it. Number 1 option, DeMar DeRozan. 20 points per game on 42% from the field and 0% from 3. A 6% drop from the field and a 26% drop from 3. This guy is fucking awful. Serge Ibaka, 16 points a game. Second option, Serge Ibaka. Never works out well, people. 16 points a game on 45% from the field and 35% from three. A two percentage increase from the field and a 5% drop from three. Norman Powell averaged 10 points per game on 32% from the field and 21% from three. A 13 and 11 percentage drop for Norman Powell. He was fucking awful. Kyrie Irving averaged 22 points a game on 37%. I don't really remember how he shot so low, but just looking at the Raptors, he probably was trolling. That man was probably trolling. Kevin Love averaged 12 points, 9 boards on 44, 40, 80 splits. Kyle Korver averaged 10 points on 58, 55, 100 splits. That ended up with him having a true shooting percentage of 82.4%. Shannon Fry averaged 9 points on 65, 64 splits. A true shooting percentage of 86.2%. Tristan Thompson back at it with his almost double-double. 9 points, 10 boards. J.R. Smith only averaged 6 points, but he only took 19 total shots in 4 games. That's about 4.5 shots per game. He shot 42% from the field and 44% from three. LeBron James averaged 36 points on 57% shooting. Not because he had to, but because he knew the Raptors were so bad that he could stat pad the entire series. The 2010s Raptors are an abomination to basketball. Nine Cavalier players attempted at least 6 threes. And three of those 9 shot. 9 Cavs attempted at least 6 threes. Of those 9, 7 of them shot 40% or better from three. 3 Cavs shot over 50% from three. And for the Raptors, well, PJ Tucker was the only one who shot over 40% from three. The Raptors, like always, hot dog water, boo-boo, garbage, dog shit. DeRozan is fucking ass. The 2017 Celtics, 53 wins, 29 losses. The number 8 ranked offense and number 13th ranked defense. They allowed the 5th most points per game in the playoffs. Isaiah Thomas got injured. I forgot if it was during the season or during the first round or whatever, but I know he had an injury problem. He went from averaging 29 points per game in the regular season to averaging 9, 2, and 8 on 28, 22, 60 splits versus the Cavaliers. Just awful, even for an injury. Their number one option once he went down was Avery Bradley, who averaged 19 points on 41, 27, 81 splits. 38 more shots attempted than the second option. A 25.9% usage rate. A 5% drop in efficiency. And a 12% drop in three-point shooting. The number 2 option on this team was Boss Man 99, Jay Crowder, coming in with a whopping whopping 14 points on 46, 42, 77 splits. The third most field goals attempted. The second most points and points per game. He had a 3% increase from the three. LeBron, well, I guess I'll talk about him. Al Horford, he attempted the second most shots on the Celtics, 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Whatever. LeBron, 29 points on 58% shooting. Kyrie, 25 points on 62, 50, 91 splits. Kevin Love, 22 points on 48, 53, 87 splits. Absolutely demolished the Celtics. Tristan Thompson, 11 points on 11.7 rebounds on 74% shooting and 72% from the line. J.R. Smith, 7 points per game on 50% from the field and 46% from three. Shannon Fry, 5 points, 44% from three. Iman Shumpert, 5 points, 53% from the field and 57% from three. The top 4 game scorers in this series were all Cavs players. LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love were all over 20. And I think Jay Crowder had the highest game score on the Celtics, which was a measly 12.6. Just awful. And this series made me go back and look at the game score of every single series. But that'll be coming a little bit later on.
The 2018 Pacers a record of 48-34. The number 11 offense and number 13 defense. They had a net rating of 1.4. First option was 6 feet 4 inches Victor Oladipo, who averaged 22 points on 41% shooting from the field. A 6% drop in field goal percent from the regular season. Second option was Bojan Bogdanovic, who averaged 12 points on 39-37-60 splits, which was a 8-3 and 26% drops in efficiency across the board. Third option was Darren Collison, who averaged 11 points on 45-34 splits, a -5 and -12% drop in efficiency. Funny thing about this series is, Indiana should have won 4-2. Indiana blew a 2-1 lead. Indiana led 0 total seconds of Game 2. Indiana led for 9 minutes in the fourth of Game 4 and proceeded to not score for 2 minutes straight. Game 5, Oladipo shot 2 for 15 and 1 for 7 from 3, and they lost by 3. Sabonis missed an open layup. Oladipo took a contested layup on LeBron rather than on J.R. Smith, which would have put them up 3-2, and they won Game 6 by damn near 40. Should have been a 4-2 Pacer series win. Side note, in the fourth quarter of losses, Vic averaged 7-2 and 0.5 on 36, 27, 71 splits. The 2018 Craptors. 59 wins, 23 losses. Number 2 offense. Number 5 defense. Kyle Lowry, 17 points on 57, 48, 85 splits. I personally think Lowry is the 9th best player LeBron ever faced in the East, a +15 and +9 rise in efficiency. DeRozan, 16 points on 44, 0, 80 splits, second time shooting 0% from 3 versus LeBron, and a 6-point per game drop from the regular season, a -1 and a -31% drop in efficiency. Valanciunas, 16 points on 50%, number 1 option, second most field goals attempted, 32.5% usage rate, highest on team. CJ Miles, 10 points on 48-50 shooting. About as mid as Jay Uso. LeBron, 34 points on 55%. Kevin Love, 20 and 11 on 47-35-90. Kyle Korver, 14 on 58-56 100. J.R. Smith, 12 on 63-77 100. Jeff Green, 12 on 54-43. George Hill, 10 on 53-33 100. Cavs' whole team this series shot 51% from the field and 41.1% from three. Replace defrozen with MJ and the Raptors sweep they ass. (2018) Boston selling tickets. Number 1 option Kyrie Irving hurt. Number 2 option Gordon Hayward hurt. Number 18 ranked offense and number 1 ranked defense.
The 2018 Celtics, 55 wins, 27 losses. They were the 18th ranked offense and number 1 ranked defense. There ain't much to say about this team besides the fact that their best 2 players got hurt. And Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart, they're both dog shit. The Celtics had a 2-1 and 3-2 lead on the Cavs. Okay? 2-1 and a 3-2. Terry Rozier took 98 shots in the series and only made 37. Terry Rozier took 51 threes and only made 13 out of 51. What made 13 to miss 40? He averaged 13 points on 37, 25, 80 splits. Pretty sure he took more than enough shots to average like 24 plus points. But Terry Rozier is ass. Another thing about this team, they had no real rim protection. Okay, they only had Al Horford down there. Al Horford's not stopping me in the paint. That's floater over him all day. I got 3 homeboys right now. If Al Horford is in the paint, they're slamming on his head. Okay. They needed somebody more like a Dwight Howard or Andrew Bogut or Anthony Davis, to stop LeBron from scoring in the paint. And they had no perimeter defender who could really slow him down. There's plenty of options in the league to slow down LeBron. There's plenty of options now. You need a good wing defender and a good paint defender to stop LeBron. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need to send 3-4 people at him. One good defender and one good rim protector. That's all you need. Game 6, LeBron had 46 points with 23 coming in the paint. 23 points in the paint. Crazy. 8 for 16 in that game in the paint. The next game, Game 7, LeBron scored 35 points. And he had 12 points in the paint, which it's lower than 20 plus. But he shot 6 for 7, so obviously, LeBron's always just dunking. He's a rim runner, so he's dunking and shit. But no. On the Celtics side in Game 7, Vegas Rozier, as I call him, put up 4 points. So you may be thinking, well, he may have only took 4 shots. No, he shot 2 for 14. That's 14%. Okay, he shot 0% from 3. He only made 0. How many did he take? 3, 4, 10. 10 of them bitches and ain't made 1. If he would have he took 14 shots. If he would have at least went 6 for 14 and hit 4 threes, they would have won this game. 6 for 14. That's it. Just 6 for 14. And just go 3 of 10, 4 of 10 from 3. But no, this man said, I got the Cavaliers money line tonight. Okay? It's them. It ain't me. He been gambling, though. He been gambling. I've been doing that. He been gambling. And then, to make it worse, both of the Marcuses played like some shit. Marcus Smart played like shit, and Marcus Morris played like some shit. Marcus Smart went 1 for 10. 1 for 10 and 0 for 4 from 3. Marcus Morris went 5 for 14 from the field and 2 of 6 from 3. 5 for 14 is ass. 2 of 6 from 3 is passable, right? But if you combine all three of these dudes 3-point shooting, bruh, they shot 2 of 20 from 3. 3 dudes went 2 of 20 from 3. All 3 of them combined made 8 shots out of 38. The fuck? Cleveland overall shot 45% in that game and 25% from 3. Boston shot 34% and 17% from 3. Hell no. If Kyrie and Gordon Hayward played, this shit would have been over in 5 max. 5 max. Okay, LeBron fans always talking about his teammates being hurt, but they never talk about the other team's injuries, right? Like most recently versus the Suns, that Suns series when they lost to Devin Booker, right? LeBron lost to Devin Booker. He was like, "Oh, AD got hurt." Nigga, Chris Paul literally could not shoot the ball. The man's whole shoulder was out. But they won't mention that. They'll just mention the AD. Same thing with the 2020 finals with Goran Dragic being hurt, or fucking Bam Adebayo being hurt, Jimmy Butler being hurt. They not gonna mention none of that shit. They only gonna mention the injuries that benefit him, right? Oh, he lost because of this injury. I'm gonna go down the timeline of injuries LeBron benefited from. Starting with 2013, Luol Deng injured spinal tap. The complications were so severe that he lost 15 pounds, couldn't walk or eat properly, and missed the final 7 games of the playoffs, missing the entire Bulls series against the Heat. Rip Hamilton, 2013, injured and benched, played hurt, torn plantar fascia in the left foot. Joakim Noah, 2013, another 2013 Bulls, plantar fasciitis. Derrick Rose, 2013, torn ACL. Danny Granger, 2013, left knee surgery. And 2014, calf strain setback. Set him back. He missed out 25 games. Big Al Jefferson, 2014. He dealt with 2 injuries, a severe left foot plantar fascia strain that happened during the playoffs versus the Heat. This man had to get pain-killing shots just to play. Brook Lopez, 2014, season-ending injury to his fractured 5th metatarsal in his right foot. A lot of 2013 and 14s in here. 2015, Pau Gasol hurt going up 2-1. Strained his hamstring. Game 2, missed game 4. Played hurt game 5. Bulls lost in 6, I think. I don't even remember. I think it was 4-2, so they lost in 6. KG, his knees, the whole 2010s. From 2007 all the way to 2014. But I just put 2011 and 2014 because that's when he lost. Isaiah Thomas, 2017, MVP candidate year. Severe right hip injury. Specifically a femoral acetabular impingement with a labral tear. I don't even know what word that was that came out the femoral. Acetabular. I don't even, what is that? Kyle Lowry, 2017. He had 2 injuries. A right wrist injury requiring surgery. His shooting hand. Then he got hurt again. He got hurt versus the Cavs. In the playoffs. He only played like 2 games. I remember this. LeBron has benefited from so many injuries that we just do not talk about. These are all, and I only went for players who actually had. Oh, in 2018, Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. Kyrie Irving, double knee surgery. Gordon Hayward, broken tibia and ankle dislocation. Changed his entire career for the rest of his career. All this shit from 2013 to 2018. And now we have LeBron's comp seeding out west. Out of all these teams, out of all 24 teams, we have one seed. one seed in 8 years, nigga. Okay. We got, out of all these years, we got two seeds. Terrible. We got more teams finishing 10th, 5, than teams who could finish first, 1. This shit is ridiculous. 2011, a 10th seed, a 4th seed, and a 1st seed. A 9th seed, a 3rd seed, and a 6th seed. A 10th seed, a 7th to 9th seed, a 6th seed, a 10th seed, a 10th seed, a 4th seed, a 10th seed again, a 7th or 8th seed, a 2nd seed, a 5th or 5th or 3rd, a 8th or 5th to 6th, and a 4th. We got a 6, 7. Oh, God. And we got a 2nd and we got a 3rd. That is 24 teams total. 7 of those teams don't even make the playoffs. 29%. 6 of those teams will be top 3. 25%. 10 teams will be 7th seed or worse. 42%. Wow. And if you really think about it, only 3 of these teams did even anybody think had a chance to win the championship, let alone come out the East. The 2015 Bulls, right, they had Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Pau Gasol. That's a good little trio. They would have came out the East had Gasol not fucking got hurt. The 2013 Pacers with Paul George and David West. The 2012 Celtics with KG, Rondo. And I guess if you want to throw Ray Allen and Paul Pierce in there, you can, but they didn't play good in the playoffs. So KG and Rondo. And now for the fun part, game scores. So this is 120 players. 70 out of the 120 top 5 players from 2011 to 2018 played on the LeBron team. So 58% of the best players in each series were on his team. Now, I took the liberty of getting every second option on his team, including 2 series where he didn't lead in field goals attempted or usage rate, only twice. And I compared his second option to the other team's first option, right? So the second option on the LeBron team had a higher game score than the first option on the other team. And I went and I broke down the years. Like I got the I took every single game score down. From 2011 to 2014, 7 out of 12, 58%. 58% of the time, his second option was undoubtedly doing more than the other team's best player. From 2015 to 2017, this is the Kyrie Cavs. 66% of the time, the Cavs had the 2 best players in the series, minimum 2. From 2011 to 2017 total, 21 now. 13 out of 21 second options was better than the other team's first option. 62% of the time, minimum, his second option or the second option on his team was better than the other team's best player. And 13 out of 24 total. Because, 2018, that's 1 year. 0 for 3, obviously. 13 out of 24 times, 54% of the time, minimum. His second option was better than the other team's first option. fucking crazy. The third best player on his team in any series was probably equaling your number one option, right? Kevin Love obviously being a former MVP candidate, former All NBA player, All Star, future Hall of Famer, better than your your best player, dude. Now this right here, this is Vegas odds by series. LeBron has played in some of the most lopsided series of all time because his team and his roster was just so much greater and better than every other team around. A couple of examples: 2011 versus the 76ers, they were a minus 2,500. Minus 2,500. The very next year, a minus 900, minus 950, minus 550, dude. 2013 versus the Bucks, minus 20,000. The Bulls were a plus 1,100 to beat the Heat, and the Heat were a minus 3,000. The Pacers 2013 minus 850. Vegas is literally telling y'all like none of these teams have even the slightest chance. Go to 2014, the Bobcats negative 2,500. Then the Nets negative 620. Then the Pacers negative 380. Dude. 2015 versus Isaiah Thomas and Avery Bradley. The Celtics were a plus 2,100, dude. The Cavs were a minus 5,000. That is crazy. 2016 versus the PISStons, minus 1,700. The Hawks, minus 500. That was just minus 190 the year before. They won 60 wins to be an underdog. And they were underdogs the whole playoffs. That's how trash they were. 2016 versus the Craptors, minus 1,350. 2017 versus Paul George, Jeff Teague. They were minus 1,100. It was a sweep, but it was a very close sweep. This is crazy. There was only been one time that his team was the underdog this whole run. 2018 versus the fucking Raptors. Oh my God, dude. From 2011 to 2018, LeBron team was favored in 23 out of 24 series. That's 95%. 18 times out of 23, they were the heavy favorites. 78% of the time, Vegas was telling you, hey, they're basically a lock to win, with a heavy favorite being minus 300 or better. This is crazy. Talk about super duper mega ultra teams. Vegas literally telling you like, hey, these dudes probably shouldn't even be losing the game. In my opinion, LeBron has benefited from playing in the Eastern Conference. He benefited from being drafted in the East. He got to play teams who struggled to even win 40 games in the first round. Second round, same thing. Teams couldn't even break 45 wins. That was 45 wins in the West. You wasn't even making the playoffs. So he benefited from playing dudes like Jeff Teague and John Salmons and Paul Millsap and Dennis Schroeder in the conference finals. He benefited from playing superstars who didn't have superstar help. You know, Derrick Rose and 10 dudes from the local Walmart, plus Lou Aldang and post-injury Carlos Boozer, Paul George and David West. You know, just no superstars in the East. He benefited from there being no superstars outside of his own team. His finals record is literally like in your face what it would have been like for him in the West. In fact, if he ran into all them same teams in like first, second, third round, that man probably wouldn't have saw nothing but like 1 or 2 finals max. He would have been 1-0 because he would have ran into the Hawks. He would have ran into Jeff Teague in the finals. So he might have been 1-0 if he got drafted in the Western Conference. But that would have been it. Wouldn't have been no 10 finals. There ain't no 8 straight with the Spurs and the Warriors and the Thunder and the Trailblazers and the Rockets and the Clippers and whoever else just breathing down your. It wasn't happening. The West was where all the superstars were at. The East ain't had no superstars outside of the LeBron team, and that's just a fact. Playing terrible competition. The simple rating score of his competition in the first round was like 0.5. Less than 1. That's literally impossible. That's how bad they were. Second round, it was like 1.5. Trash. 1 is like the base, like average. Your ass if you're at a 1. You got to be higher than that, buddy. But LeBron, since he went to the West, 2019, nothing. 2020, no healthy superstars. Not a healthy finals comp. You know, when I say lopsided officiating and lopsided rosters. And AD should have won Finals MVP. 2021 lost. 2022 ain't even make the playoffs. LeBron went 0 for 13 on game winners. 2023 swept. 2024 lost. 2025 lost. As soon as 2026 playoffs start, a couple months, lost. That man is shit. You get them empty numbers if you want to. Just know that your career is built off the back of beating bombs and getting hospital chips and being gifted rings 2012. So, like, comment, subscribe.